All right, Sylvia, look at me. I am outside going to check the mail. And I'm asking you if you can please, pretty please, send me one of your videos. I love it so much when you just send them to me. Yeah, I don't like buying your stuff. It makes me feel weird. Could you please send me one though?
On the 25th of January 2019, when Cody Amato, a certified nurse, failed to show up at work and wasn't answering his phone, it raised suspicions. Cody hadn't missed a day of work in 5 years and was due to perform surgery that morning. 911 received a call from a co-worker to do a wellness check, and around 15 minutes later they arrived at the Chuluota home in Florida. After not getting a response, the police decided to enter the home through the back door and were met with a horrifying scene. Cody's younger brother is then tracked down at the DoubleTree Hilton hotel in Florida and arrested. Let's get into the story of the Amato family massacre. When the police broke in through the back door, they came across 59-year-old Chad Amato. He was found on his back on the kitchen floor. As they carried on through the house, they found 31-year-old Cody in his storage room, lay in a fetal position in his hospital scrub. Finally, they found 61-year-old Margaret slumped over her computer desk. They had all been shot in the head, but who were they and what led to this tragedy? Chad and Margaret were hard-working, loving parents to 3 boys. Jason, who was Margaret's son from a previous relationship but was adopted by Chad, and Cody and Grant. They worked hard to provide a good life for their boys. Chad had worked as a pharmacist before getting a job in a call centre where he would give out pharmacy instructions, whilst Margaret worked from an office in her home as a supervisor for a transcription company. Cody and Grant were inseparable, whilst Jason was a bit older and had moved out of the home. Both brothers would eventually enroll in the same nursing school.
Close with your brother Cody? Let's talk about Cody.
Oh yeah. Me and Cody.
Who's older, you or him?
He is. I'm the youngest one. I'm 29. He's 31. Okay. My oldest brother Jason is 35 or 36 now.
Who lives at home? All 3 boys live at home?
No. It's just me and Cody, and then mom and dad.
Okay.
Me and Cody had the quintessential rough, fighting each other and whatnot when we were younger.
The love-hate,
right?
Typical siblings.
But then I would say, my junior year of high school, we were all on the weightlifting team together. That's where I got to know a lot of his guy friends. And we stopped arguing at that point. And then we all, we decided to go to nursing school together. We decided to go to the nurse anesthesia school together.
Mm-hmm.
We did everything together.
Chad and Margaret had purchased a second home where they planned to live when they retired, and Cody and Grant had plans to buy their current home. They both ended up with jobs as nurses, but after working for 5 years, in June 2018, Grant was accused of stealing medication and was arrested on suspicion of theft. Being the good brother he was, Cody spent good money on a lawyer for Grant, and the charges were dropped. Cody carried on earning decent money at the hospital, while Grant struggled to get a job after this. Although he wasn't charged, it still affected him when he applied for jobs, so he spent most of his time in his room on Twitch playing video games.
Besides that, we would play video games. We actually just got a virtual reality headset thingy for the computer. That was kind of fun.
Are you the guys that I've played with when I was out of work for a couple months because of an injury that would hack and would cheat me and lower me down to the lowest level of nothing?
Oh, no.
Okay.
We weren't that technologically gifted. But we would use glitches or something like that when we would play on the PC.
Unbeknownst to his family, online gaming wasn't the only thing Grant was doing online. As well as searching a lot of adult sites, Grant frequently visited a site named Live Free Cams. The basis of the site is to pay money for tokens so you can interact with cam girls. This is when Grant started talking to a Bulgarian cam girl named Sylvia.
Okay, so you had one of his credit cards.
Yeah.
And what were you buying with it?
Well, what I was doing is, over the past 4 months or something like that. I've been talking to this woman online.
Who's she?
She's as embarrassing as it is. She's a cam model.
A what?
A cam model. Do
All right.
either of you guys know what that is?
Nope. Just like all the videos, you have to tell us.
A cam model, it's like it's like a virtual girlfriend, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Like that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the money went to her.
Okay. Where's she at?
She lives in Bulgaria.
What would you give her money for?
Just for like the time online with her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was just like that type of thing.
And what did she charge? By the minute? By the hour?
Minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much is it per minute?
Oh God, I think it was like 90 tokens a minute, $600 for like 5,000 or something tokens or something like that. So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean that's basically just where all the costs went to, was you pay real money for the tokens, then you use the company's digital currency for that.
So how much do you think you spent?
On this? Probably close to like $200,000.
Grant would watch Sylvia for hours and hours a night and spend large amounts of his parents' and brothers' money to do so. He would also send her gifts using the videos or money to buy clothes. He was infatuated with her, and his obsession would only grow the more he spoke to her. As his obsession intensified, he would start stealing money as well as asking for it, so he could spend more time talking to Sylvia, who by now he classed as his girlfriend. He stole over $200,000 from his dad to carry on his online love affair. It got so bad that Chad had to get a remortgage on the house to cover the debts caused by Grant. Eventually, his parents would find out about Sylvia and how all their hard-earned money had gone to a stranger online. Probably feeling riddled with guilt, Grant left the family home, and after no contact, his family started to get worried. Like any parents, when seeing your child go through hard times, we support them, try to get them back on their feet, and that's exactly what Chad and Margaret did for Grant. They located him at a family member's house, and on the 22nd of December 2018, after finding out how much he was stealing from them all, they forced Grant to attend a behavioural rehabilitation centre.
My father chose to admit me to a depression or an addiction clinic or something like that in Fort Lauderdale called Cornerstone.
When was that?
That was December 22nd.
Okay.
Until I think January 4th.
Did you agree to go?
I didn't, but they said that this was your only.
Who said?
My dad.
Okay.
And that was in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes. Yeah.
Did your mom agree with it?
My mom and my brother both agreed, but it was my dad who was like the iron fist, like, this is what's going to happen.
After 2 weeks, Grant left the facility and returned home. Cody had paid $15,000 for him to enter the program, but Grant said he was deemed to only have a mild addiction and didn't need the full treatment. Chad set some rules for Grant to follow, on the promise that if he broke any of the rules, he would be kicked out of their house. Jason read out the rules in court.
Of what are the options given to him?
All right, so the first thing that was covered was living arrangements. Does he want to live at home, move out on his own, go to the military? Some rules are no post-midnight internet use, no more all-nighters online, limited TV, install a new AT&T modem. It says that he terminated his current phone and set him up with a new phone that I guess didn't have data or the ability to go on the internet. Some responsibilities where he had to get a job. He had some debts that he had to take care of. No savings. He owed the family some money, owed the family an apology. It's very detailed.
Despite the rules, Grant continued to contact Sylvie. Margaret must have somewhat felt sorry for Grant and allowed him to contact her via Twitter using her cell phone. It wouldn't take long for Chad to find out about it, and he confronted Grant and demanded he left his house.
like a relationship. You know, I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it. So he had apparently found out, and then
Unhappy.
right. And one of the stipulations was that he told me at the dinner was, if you speak to this woman again, you're out of the house. Like, I'm kicking you out. You can pack up your shit, and then you're off my property. Process. I was getting all my stuff together. I was piecemealing it out to the car, and then, you know, I had an interview on Friday. So I had to get my suit out to my car. I was trying to just get all of my necessities as best as I could from, you know, a lifetime of living inside the house. Sure. So then, yeah, I spoke with Cody. He told me about all that. He had given me his debit so that, because, I mean, I don't have any money, and I don't know where to go. You know, I'd never been out of the house on my own. And then the last thing that I was told was just that, you know, basically, once again, that he'll take care of it. The Publix on 50, on Colonial, the one that's by the Tractor Supply.
419, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That Publix, it's like their guest Wi-Fi is always still active, even when the store closes down. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go there because I have my Surface, and I can, you know, check on my emails. I had to pull up the address to my interview because I don't have GPS. And then, you know, yeah, I didn't have any, you know, I went to the DoubleTree because I was like, I can't just stay in my car again all night.
Right. And how did you pay for that?
I paid for it with my debit card.
It's worth keeping in mind that this whole time Grant has been talking with officers, he hasn't once asked why he's been arrested or what it's about.
We've come and talked to you.
Okay.
You rode up here voluntarily with us to talk to us. Why do you think we're having this conversation?
I honestly don't know, but I'm pretty freaked out at this point because, you know, it's, I mean, I know, like, how the situation was when I left, and, you know, I thought that it was weird to begin with that I hadn't gotten any communication whatsoever. I mean, like I had told you, my brother, Cody, the last time when I was away from the house, that he was the one who outreached to me via email, because, again, I didn't have my phone or anything like that.
Now's the time. Now's the time. If there's something you want to get off your chest and give us an explanation of what's bothering you, now is the exact time to do it. And I'm giving you that opportunity. You don't want to tell us, but right now is the time to get it off your chest. And I really wish you would, because it will make you feel better in the end.
I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say.
Detectives gave Grant the opportunity to come clean, but he claims he has no knowledge of what happened. They're bringing Jason to speak to Grant to see if he will admit to anything, but he still declares his innocence.
I'm going to ask you plain out. You are not part of it anyway.
No.
When's the last time you saw everybody?
I left the house between, like, midnight and, like, 12:30.
I'm really confused, Grant. I don't understand. How did you get money to pay for a hotel?
I still had a few $100s on my debit card, and then Cody gave me his debit card.
After looking into the family's finances, it was made clear that Chad's phone was unlocked using his fingerprint after he was no longer alive. There was activity on his mobile banking app and purchases made from his account.
Same time, within a very short time of each other. Those things go together. Records show what was happening.
Wait, what happened?
$33,000 on, I think your dad, it was a USAA credit card. He had $33,000 was paid to pay off that credit card. I just don't know where else to go to get you to come around, because it does not make any logistical sense.
On the 30th of July, after 20 witnesses and hundreds of items of evidence was presented to the jury, Cody Amato was charged and sentenced to life in prison. In his dad's rules, there had been a line scribbled out that said, "You chose a stranger over your family," and that's exactly what Grant did. This is a family that loved him and wanted to get him help, but ended up losing their lives at the hands of their own son and brother. Jason last saw his family when they took Grant to the rehabilitation centre, so we can imagine it's been very hard on him, and our thoughts are with him and the rest of the family and friends. Rest in peace, Chad, Margaret and Cody. Addiction is a common problem, and most people have either been addicted to something or know someone that is. For many people, the fear of shame and guilt overpowers them getting the help they need, or they feel they're at a point of no return. It's never too late. There's so much help available, whether it be a doctor or a helpline you can call anonymously. There are also many forums people can visit to talk to others going through the same thing. I will put some links in the description. Anyone can visit to either get help or help someone they know. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and as always, take care.